Hey guys, this is Michael with Tennessee Survivalist. Um, as any of y'all that know me personally or follow my Facebook page that's entitled Tennessee Survivalist as well, you know that recently, here a couple of weeks ago, I've done a weekend camp out survival training, and we covered a lot of different topics. And some people had asked me that couldn't be there or didn't have access to the private group that I was doing the training for to do a video series based off the training we done. So I thought I'd sit down and do some variation of that. Everything that I do as far as my survival training or bushcraft training involves around what some people call the 10 C's of survival. That term is primarily paired with Dave Canterbury at the Pathfinder School. I'm not directly endorsing any particular school, although I can tell you that the Pathfinder School is probably one of the best in the nation, if not the best in the nation, for anything pertaining to survival, bushcraft, wilderness skills, primitive skills, woodcraft, woods lore, self-sustaining living, whatever you want to call it. They are one of the best out there. No, I am not a certified instructor for the Pathfinder School. I do not claim to be. But I will tell you a lot of my thought process behind anything pertaining to survival or bug outs or shit hits the fan or anything like that is based off of teachings from Dave Canterbury and the other fantastic instructors with Pathfinder School. I thought I'd start a series on the 10 C's. Most of you do. If you listen to this, probably know what the 10 C's are. I'm not going to get into the breakdown of it. You'll see that as each video will be based on one of the C's, as in the letter C, of survival. I find it's extremely important, and no matter whether you're a bushcrafter for fun or reenactor, you just have a true love for simplicity in the outdoors, or if you're a hardcore survivalist or prepper. This thought process, this theory behind your gear and your equipment will make you a much better, much more well-rounded individual. The reasons are self-explanatory, as you'll see as this video series progresses. But the whole survival mentality, I don't care if you are building your bug out bag for an economic collapse, if you're worried about military intervention in this country or societal breakdown. I don't care what your reasons are. I don't care if you're prepping to survive solar flare. It doesn't matter. The simple fact is, there is the 10 C's are not necessarily 10 items, but you can consider each item or each C, and the reason I call C's is each category starts with the letter C, as like I just said, a category, not specifically an item. It may be multiple items. One item may pull multiple uses. But it's an excellent, excellent foundation for your bug out bag or for your emergency gear. I don't care who you are, you cannot go wrong with using this mentality for the foundation for your emergency gear. Even if you're just putting together 2 or 3 day pack for a natural disaster of some type, be it hurricane if you live on the coast somewhere, earthquake, massive tornadoes, even just long-term power outage from winter storms like we see here in Tennessee occasionally, and occasionally tornadoes as well. It doesn't matter. That's all irrelevant. What matters is that you have the necessary supplies and the skills that support those supplies to ride it out, to make it happen. From short-term to long-term, these 10 C's, this mentality will suffice you for your foundation of your survival gear. What I stress in my bug out bag classes is that there's no such thing as a cookie cutter, as I call them, bug out bag. Your pack needs to be custom built to suit your needs, your skills, your physical ability, everything. Regardless of needs, skills, or physical ability, these 10 items, or 10 categories I should say, should be the foundation for everyone's pack. The first 5 are probably the most important, and the second 5 kind of complement them, make life a little bit easier. Like I said, this is going to be a progression of videos. It's not going to be all in one, and I'm not going to promote, for the most part, any particular brand of item. Just give you examples of what I use and tell you why I've picked these particular items. Just like firearms, you do get what you pay for. You want something that's going to do the job it needs and fit you both physically, mentally. Everything about it needs to work with you. It's the same with your gear, and hopefully this will be a series that we'll do over the next few weeks that everybody will get a little something out of. If you don't have a bug out bag or an emergency pack built, this is what you want to look at to get started with. If you do, maybe you want to go back and reevaluate, make sure you aren't forgetting something. I'm not claiming to be an expert. Anything I show you or tell you is based on my personal experience. I don't buy gear and throw it in my pack and let it sit there till the shit hits the fan and then go, oh crap, this didn't work as good as I thought it was going to do. I use this stuff. I try it out. Most everything I use, I find ways in my daily life to experiment with it, learn with it, train with it, become one with my gear. If it doesn't work for me, then I set it aside and I buy something different. Yes, that can get expensive, even using common man price gear. And when I say that, I say this: you don't have to spend a fortune on this gear, but you do need to buy quality. What I hope you learn out of this video series is the characteristics of each category of item to look for, and then you pick up what suits you the best, both physically, both with your skill set, with your financial needs, with everything. So with that said, I'm going to say goodbye for the moment. I'm going to tell you to come back and check this series out because I think it's going to be really in-depth, really detailed. I think a lot of you are going to enjoy it, even if you are familiar. Coming up soon, we're going to start with the very first item on the list, which is going to be knives or cutting tools, hence the very first C in the 10 C's of survivability. So check back often. Don't forget to subscribe if you're friends with me on Facebook. Hit me up if you got any questions. Look me up on Facebook under the Tennessee Survivalists. It's a Facebook group I've got. You don't have to live in Tennessee. We'll welcome anyone. Everything we do is based off of things here in Tennessee. If you know me through the private groups I'm a part of, then you know how to get a hold of me. Check us out, guys. I think you're going to really like this. See ya.